Hi, this is Kristen Logan from the South Carolina Department of Education's Office of Personalized Learning. Welcome to a quick tour of how the South Carolina Teaching Standards 4.0 element Motivating Students connects to the Measuring PCBL Toolkit. The purpose of this video is to provide a short introduction of how the Measuring PCBL Toolkit outcomes can help measure growth in motivating students. If you haven't watched the welcome video in the header of the crosswalk document that explains our overall purpose, we suggest watching that before you continue with this video. The Measuring PCBL Toolkit focuses on 8 outcomes that we believe are distinctive of a high-quality PCBL system. Engagement is the PCBL outcome we will focus on today. The toolkit was created to help make measuring PCBL impacts as accessible as possible for classroom teachers, school coaches, and leaders, and anyone wanting to document the effects of PCBL practices for learners. Let's dig in and learn more about the connections between motivating students and the Measuring PCBL Toolkit outcomes. If you are wanting to measure your impact in motivating students, you could use one of the following Measuring PCBL Toolkit outcomes: engagement, belonging, agency, self-efficacy, or mastery orientation. We know that in order for students to be engaged and motivated to learn, their learning needs to be meaningful, relevant, meet them where they are, and provide opportunities for agency. Now, let's look to see how you could use engagement to measure impact in the SCTS 4.0 element of motivating students. Before we do that, though, let's level set for a minute. Why is engagement important? We know that engagement is all about learners feeling excited and interested in what they are learning. Student engagement encourages skills and habits, motivation, joy of learning, persistence, curiosity, that not only correlate to improve academic outcomes, but also give students a better chance of success in college and their careers. We are sure that learner engagement is one of the top priorities in your context, especially as we are coming out of our COVID years and are looking for ways to help learners re-engage with their learning and with each other as a learning community. The indicators for the SCTS 4.0 rubric element motivating students and the PCBL outcome engagement can work together to support teachers in collecting valuable data about their students' motivation to learn. For example, on the 4.0 rubric, teachers are expected to consistently and explicitly organize the content so that it is personally meaningful, relevant, and intellectually engaging to all students. The engagement data collection tool has survey questions that ask learners about their experience with being able to work on meaningful, relevant work. Using the survey questions to find out how students are feeling about their own engagement in class can uncover some reasons behind their motivation to learn. This data then in turn can be used by the teachers to inform and grow their instructional practices. Let's click into the crosswalk to see how we might use the data collection tools in the PCBL toolkit. Let's imagine I'm a 5th grade teacher who has chosen to set a goal around motivating students because I want to know why some days students are more motivated to learn than others. I see that I have 5 different outcomes that I can use to measure impact. I know there is a strong connection between engagement and motivation to learn. So I'm going to click on engagement. I see that there are several prompts and questions I can use to create a survey for my students. I notice that each prompt has a code for which level it best fits. Since I'm an elementary teacher, I want to make sure the prompts that I select fit where my students are as learners. I might pick 4 prompts that I can use with a Likert scale, like I can use what I learn at school when I'm at home or in my community. We celebrate when we learn something new, or my teacher considers my interests when creating lessons, and I get so focused on activities in my class that I lose track of time. Then I might also pick 2 open-ended questions like, which projects, assignments, activities that happen in this class make you feel most excited and eager to participate? Or if you were teaching this class, What is one thing you could do to make it more engaging for all students? Once I made the survey, I would give it to one or all of my classes depending on what I was trying to measure. After getting the survey results back, I could analyze the data by myself, with my coach, or with another colleague to see what I notice and wonder about what my students are saying about their engagement. If I needed to follow up and do some small group interviews, I could. Then I could use the data to make some changes to my instruction based on what my students said. If my SLO was focused on this same 4.0 element, I could even use these prompts as pre and post data related to one of the competencies I might be working to integrate into my class. If you are wondering if you can do this with more than one outcome at a time, the answer is you can. You can use each of these tabs at the bottom here as a menu to pull from if it relates to the SCTS 4.0 element you are trying to measure. Now, what if I'm a school leader or an instructional coach? How can I use this same crosswalk? Well, if your school has identified a few of the SCTS 4.0 elements that are your focus for the year, then you could ask everyone to focus on the same one or give them a choice between a few. Then, as the coach or school leader, you could create a school-wide survey using the prompts and questions from the data collection tool that apply to the SCTS 4.0 elements that are your focus. Have each teacher give the survey to one class during a given class period, and then reflect on the whole school data or individual class data when you are all meeting in your professional learning communities. Teachers could set their own growth goals around the data from their students. That is one way you can leverage the connection between the SCTS 4.0 rubric element motivating students and the data collection tools in the Measuring PCBL Toolkit. Now it's your turn to think about which Measuring PCBL Toolkit outcome you want to focus on and explore the survey prompts and questions. We love to partner with educators, so please remember you can always reach out to your regional coach by going to personalizesc.ed.sc.gov/contact us.